Okay, I am back. I am in Summer Nights, and let's see. I want to work on this little pocket watch here. I want to do some more mixing of gold, and we have done this before, but in the last video, I want to say we used like, I don't know, 7 different pencils, something like that. So this time I'm going to do it with a lot less. And I am sticking with Castle Arts brand. This is the Soft Touch. Number 3, golden yellow. So any really soft yellow. And then let's put these in order. Next would be Yellow Ochre Light, which is their number 10. So something that's like a really yellow ochre. If it was paint, it would be Turner's Yellow. Something that's a little bit starting to go into the browns. Then next we have Cinnamon, which is number 12. So one of your lighter brown shades. Okay. Then a medium brown. This is Brown Ochre, number 115. And then last but not least, I have Walnut Brown, number 117. So what I need to do is look and say, where is my light coming from? Now, I've done all the edges of the leaves as if the light's hitting on the outside edges. So what I'm going to do is say if the light's coming from up here. Let's just say it's coming from, no, let's go over a little. That way it won't seem like everything's just right there at the point. In fact, let's go right here for the light source. Let's say our light is coming from right here. So then what that tells me is everything on this part's going to be the lightest, and down here will be the darkest. Okay? So then you look at the piece and you think, okay, what all am I actually going to do in the gold? And then what am I going to do in some other color? And I have yet to decide if I want to do the face gold also or not, because then you look, and stick with me through this video because we're going to talk about this some more. You know, do I want the light color around the outside and then it gets darker inside? You want to keep it light enough that you can see all these little tick marks, but you also want it light enough that you can see that. So, I don't know yet. You know me, I may end up with a teal or a turquoise. So what I'm going to start with is up here. And I can tell by the way this is put together that this is the outside part of the watch. Okay? So again, this yellow is my lightest shade of the 5 pencils I've grabbed. I tried going down to 4 and it was just too big of a jump. So when you're pulling your pencils, you want to pretend you're taking a trip down to your basement or up to your attic without a light on. Look at the steps. They're going to get darker and darker the further you go. So as you're going, you're thinking, I don't want to skip a step and fall. Well, the same thing applies to the pencils. If we skip too many shades, we're going to not have a cohesive look. It's going to look a bit more odd and out of place. Now, I am not going to be a stickler and count every one of these, or should I? Okay, the thing is, I have 5 pencils. The darkest and the lightest are going to be across from each other. So let's see. Yeah, let's just count them. We're going to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, and we have 5 colors. So that's going to tell me each shade gets 4. Now the thing I'm going to do is overlap them by 1. Okay, so in that, if this one's going to have 4, it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm counting is the halves, okay? Because as I color from this color over, I'm going to overlap it by a half. Does that make sense? Okay, let's go to the next color so I can explain that a little bit more. So if I'm doing 4, that's going to mean half of this one to half of this. Oh, actually, it's going to overlap more because we're going to do, see, this is why videos are good. I already messed up. So it's not going to be 4 for each one. It's only going to be a couple because we're going to go all the way down to the dark on one side and then all the way down on the other side too. So we can't count both sides. So instead of 4, it's really only like 2. So I'm going to count these 2 and then overlap. Okay. So is that clear as mud what I just did? I essentially just messed up on the count because you can't count all the way around because one side and the other side are going to be the same. So we're not taking all the pencils all the way around. We're going down one side. So then these 2. Now the top and bottom though, we can actually have 3. Yeah, I'm confusing you, aren't I? The reason for that is because they're not being repeated. So they can go ahead and take an extra. And I may not do as much dark at the very bottom. So we'll have to see. And in here, I'm coming in just enough that I can blend that. Okay, I don't want to just break it right there. I want it to overlap. I want that blend in there. Okay, then the next color, or the next little spot here, I will have it all in this color. And I should do these a little neater, but I'm just trying to make sure I get this whole pocket watch done, the outside anyway. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. Add one more to it. And I may find that I don't need the deepest color down at the bottom. It may look nice and gold and shiny without it. And that's just something you kind of tell as you go. All right, so then this one is going to be the one where I overlap. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of this in there, and then lighter touch, some in here, and then lighter touch. And there's more of the light at the top than at the bottom, just because that's where your light is coming from. Okay, now my next shade, so whenever you pulled for your next shade, I know one of them is going to be totally this color, because that's what we've been doing thus far. And I know I got outside the line some. I am going to use a gold gel pen with glitter in it to go all the way around the outside. Then I'm going to come back up here and blend in to the previous. So the whole thing. And then blend into the previous. Now this is where I start seeing how many of these little edges, these little bubble things I have left. Okay, because I know this is right across from where I started. Probably this one right here. So that's going to be my darkest one. So let's just look. Just put a mark there. That's going to be the darkest. So I've got two colors. I know I want there to be dark. So this would be the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and come into this a little bit, because we're going to blend. Remember, we've been blending each time. I'm going to do half of it dark and the other half lighter, so that I'll be able to blend in the next color. And all we're doing is doing 1 plus a half. But I go ahead and color the whole thing so that we don't end up with a line right at half. I feel like I'm not making any sense. I know you're getting this in the morning. I just had dinner, so maybe I shouldn't color on a full stomach. You know, maybe? I don't know. All right, then my next darker shade, I'm going to do the half and blend. I'm going to do the half, just blending. And now I'm going to do the whole thing. And remember, if they're not blended perfectly well, that's okay. I'm going to come back at the very end with my very lightest shade and use it like a blender and color over all of it. Yes, the same color through the whole thing. Did I already do some of that? I think I did. Okay, and then I'm going to come down here for the next one. And I am going to go ahead and do all of this one and not worry about being light, except on the very, very tip. Now the other thing that happens, and then we'll go just a little bit there. So just a little bit here, and then just the tip, and then we'll do all of this. The other thing that's going to happen when I come through blending with that lightest shade is it's going to add a little bit of yellow to all of this and give it that more gold appearance. Now I'm on my last pencil. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, so that's an advantage to coloring over with a color instead of a blender, is it's another chance to change that color up just a little bit. I'll be able to actually lighten the whole thing or give it that golden cast by going over it with yellow. If I went over it with white, it would change it up just a little bit too. The colors might be more milky or muted instead of yellowed. It just depends on the look you're after. If you're doing like a face and you're doing cheeks and you put the color on and erase like I do, and the color's not staying, what you might do is find that if you go over it with white, then you're going to get an even paler shade of pink. If you were to go over it with yellow, you'd end up with like a peach. So it does matter what color you use. So now I'm going to do this again and see my top is here. So I've got my colors coming around. And now I'm going to go in and really blend everything. Just really go through here. And then I'll get some glitter pens out. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way. I will get some glitter pens out and go through all of these. The reason I'm going to color these is I think that it's a design on the watch, because if you look here, you're not seeing leaves come from underneath. Okay, you don't see the rest of the flower popping underneath here. So that's why I'm treating it as if it's a motif on top instead of, you know, coloring or leaving it blank or whatever. See, now this has got a little bit more yellow to it. It's a little more golden. Also allows me not to be as careful when I'm coloring because I know my glitter gel pen that's gold will cover anything where I accidentally go inside those areas. So, not to worry. So now, can you see any difference at all in what's on the right-hand side versus the left-hand side? This right here and this, there is just that slight difference. And it's not as much golden as a difference as it is just more solidly colored. Because I am moving around the pencil that's on there, plus I'm still filling in those divots that's in the paper. Now that one, I did not get that side. So now I take my pencils and I look darkest, and then yeah, that's the darkest there. So I'm going to grab the darkest, was there and here. And I want to say it overlapped here just a little. So I'm going to fill that in. Okay, and it might have been the other shade, but you know what? In the realm of things, once I get this blended, it's going to be such a small spot on the whole picture that even if I did grab the wrong color, which I think I probably did, it really won't matter. So, anywho, coloring along. Just getting that all blended. Back up to the top. And there we go. All right, now what will I actually do with the rest of this? I do think I am going to use my light teals in here on some of this. I just think it's really going to look nice. If you've stuck with me through the whole video, I am going to be working on this guy next time. Okay, so come back for that. In fact, I wonder how that would look, some of those shades as the middle, or would it fight with the green? You know, I love teal, and maybe not the teal, not the turquoise, but that shade somewhere in between. I think that's what I'm going to come back and do this. Now, I am going to also do this in gel pen, so that leaves these little places underneath. And I think what I'm going to do is come in here, and I did over that. Okay, then I'm going to grab the next color and blend, and then do there. Blend just a little. And there, did I get the right one? Nope. I went one too dark. Okay, not a big deal. I'm going to come in here with this eraser that's just laying here and take that out. Boy, you're really getting to see me mess them up tonight, huh? All right, so then this, I'm going to go ahead and go on another one. And then next shade, actually I'm going to come down here with this one. And I could have done these as I went around because I want this to go down one more. There we go. And then at the base, we have the darkest. And then I'm just going to come back up to the top again. I actually have these in color order now. It's a whole lot easier if you keep your pencils in color order. I just don't always do that. And then the next one. Okay, the reason I just did 3 of those is because I did that one and I thought, ooh, that's not that color. I should have come down one more. So you know what I can do? Just do that. Okay? Because when you add that little bit of yellow on top, it's going to change that color that's on the bottom. And then just at a glance, looking at that, it looks fine. All right, so I'm going to do gel pen here. A lot of this will probably be gel pen. You know what? You got 21. I'm going to do this bit in here with pencils. All right. So I'm going to use the lightest here, here, and then I'm going to go to the next shade. Did I do that? No. And I think what I'm going to do is that next shade's going to go right there in that piece because that's indented some. So it would be just a little bit different than the next one. Next, next. And then one more. Now I'm not going to put the darkest shade on this top piece because the light's coming down, so that light's going to hit it. So I really don't want to go dark on there. All right, lightest shade. Let's really blend this. Now see, for all that color I put on, do you see how nicely that's blending? And that's where you're going to get your gold. Just really blend. And then here, just keep going until you get it blended how you want it. It's not done, it's not finished till you've stopped blending. Okay? And then like on this, I'm going to do the top. Then I'm going to do right under top. Then I'm going to skip a color. Yes, I know. Living on the wild side here. Went to this one. And then I'm going to go to my darkest because it's recessed down underneath. Then I'll come in with my lightest and just blend away. Just blend, blend, blend. Now I could do each one of these little beads going around that way too, but no. I'm going to use a gel pen for that. So anyway, well, I will see how much I can get done on all that. I can tell you, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do this next. And I might even do those flowers. Aren't those cute? Love those. Oh, you know what I'm going to do next first? Next? Okay, we will be hitting this. But your next video, I'm going to compare some Crayola pencils to themselves. And that's not going to make a lot of sense right now. But they're changing some of the packaging up. So I am going to do a short review video next time on that. And then the following time we'll hit the grasshopper. Okay? All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. Questions, comments, pop them down below. I do read and try to get back to everybody. Thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.